Pineapple for breakfast! Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of ValiDate. So, last episode we focused mainly on Anaya and her relationships, and that was interesting. And then met with a very gorgeous woman. I forgot her name. And then we had edibles, and then we kissed her, and we ruined the night because we probably had too much of the edibles, and I should have taken half. But I wanted to step away from Anaya for a bit and explore different characters. I think I'm gonna have each episode to kind of progress on each character's date, or each playable character on the date. Right now, I believe only the characters in volume 1 is playable at the moment. ValiDate is going to have an update later on in the coming next year, I believe. So that's gonna be exciting to have even more characters to try out later on. But for now, for volume 1, we're going to explore these different characters, and each episode is going to pretty much continue on from their stories. So let's go ahead and go to Amari, because I really wanted to see what Amari is like, because one, oh, you can't see your face. Amari actually has a hairstyle that I used to rock all the time. I didn't shave the sides, but I used to just put my hair up in a frohawk, and that was kind of like my style for a bit, and I loved that shit to death. So I kind of want to play her just to see. But Amari is very interesting. They are an HR specialist. Pronouns are she and he, which is interesting. And let's see, bitches love drama in the workplace until it involves them. Lesbians born after 1994 can't cook. All they do is eat ramen, buy 7 wedding rings, eat hot chip, and cry. I like the last bit, eat hot chip and cry. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. Okay, let's go with Amari. I like Amari already. Ooh, meeting Amari. Content warnings, divorce. Oh, damn. Within the soft darkness of sleep, you're wandering through an endless hall. You're dreaming, and soon you'll wake up and be thrust into your real life with your real problems. For now, though, you wander. The hallway is empty. There are no doors, no windows, no decorations of any kind. There are only barren walls gliding by as you bring one foot in front of the other. You don't know why you're in this hall or what you're looking for, only that you are compelled to move forward. As you walk, you begin to feel a strange prickle on the back of your neck, as if you're being watched. You begin to walk faster. The walls and floor of the hallway begin to elongate, narrowing to a point far off in the distance. That familiar feeling of being watched looms over you, and you try to run from it. You try and try, but as you look down, you see your feet begin to sink through the plain wood of the floor beneath them. The thing seeking you is getting closer. You know this, but you cannot for the life of you continue to move. A gust of hot breath washes over the back of your neck. Your first alarm sounds, shrieking bright into the warm cavern of your early morning consciousness. Do you have to wake up today? Before you open your eyes, you run a mental tally of everything that you need to do to become a human being. Meds come first, then coffee. You crack your eyes open and reach out in the dark towards your bedside table. You thrust your hand over the surface, knocking over empty yerba mate cans and other assorted bits of trash until you stumble into your medication. Oh boy. Dude, those mornings though are rough. Like, you have a nightmare, you gotta wake up, and then you're tired, then you gotta fumble just to like start your day. Like, I hate waking up. I really do. Step 2 of the equation is water. By now, your eyes have adjusted to the low lights of your bedroom, and you can make out the shape of your water bottle on the floor next to your bed. A moment later, you're sitting up, swallowing 20 milligrams of Crivance XR with a mouthful of tepid stale water. I hope I said that drug right. Your throat dries as soon as you finish swallowing, so you down the rest of the water despite its rank taste. You command the lower half of your body to move, your brain sending desperate directives to your legs and feet. Will today be the day they choose to cooperate on the first try? Nah, no, it never does. It never does. Evidently not. You spend another few minutes urging your body to obey your mind until a surge of panic jolts you to stand at the sound of your second alarm. Now that you're up, you turn the light on. Your room is chaotic, yes, but you know exactly where everything is. Your fingers start to twitch as your medication kicks in. You need to get moving. The first thing you do is throw together an outfit. Once your clothes are laid out on your bed, you slip your house shoes on before heading downstairs towards the kitchen. You already set up the coffee machine last night, so all you have to do now is press a button and you're free to start cleaning out one of the many mugs sitting in your sink. You take your coffee with a splash of cream and enough sugar to make a dentist faint. Oh, that's exactly how I love my coffee. Look, Amari, you and I are the two sides of the same coin, okay, or whatever that saying is. We are very alike. I like you. Yes, I love my dude. Like, if I ever give you coffee, if I ever make coffee for you, your ass is gonna have diabetes because I love to have my coffee like super sweet with lots of cream, and I just make it a dessert. Like, I just love sweets in general, so that's just me. With your cup prepared, you go back upstairs so you can take a shower. You turn the water on to a nearly scalding temperature and quickly drink the rest of your coffee before slipping off your robe and pajamas. Oh yeah, scalding hot shower, the best shower ever. After you shower, you wash your face and quickly style your hair. You get dressed in your room, trying to stay mindful of the time your third alarm goes off as you pull your socks on. The socks don't match, but at least there are two of them. Now that you're at least somewhat put together, you must complete the heroic task of getting your children ready. What? Oh, you have kids! Oh, wow! Jahleel and Jabari are still sound asleep in their bedroom. You open the door slowly so you don't startle them and flip on the lamp that sits between their beds. Jabari stirs a little, but both boys remain asleep. You sigh. You might as well let them sleep for a few more minutes while you pick out clothes for them to wear. At 4 years old, your sons are starting to become quite independent. You suspect that Jabari will object to any clothes that don't resemble the weight and texture of his pajamas, and that Jahleel will insist on wearing the same color everything because his new favorite thing is colors. You keep this in mind as you paw through their dressers. The noise you've been making causes Jahleel to wake up. Oh, Jahleel is so cute! Oh, you're so adorable! I hope my kid looks like you. Mama? Jahleel Abdi, kindergarten student, Amari and Noor's son. Oh, what? Good morning, my dove. Did you have a good dream? Yeah, Mama, I did. Are we going to school today? Not today. You and your brother are going to Mama Noor's house today. You do your best not to sound disappointed when you say it. The hardest part of sharing custody is having to pretend that you're okay with the sharing part. Okay, so we are divorced. So we're divorced. We keep the kids, but then we do have to bring the kids over to do the custody sharing thing. That's rough. Why don't you wake your brother up? And then you can both tell me about your dreams while we get washed up. Jahleel climbs out of bed and totters over to Jabari. He lays a small hand on his brother's shoulder and gently shakes him until his eyes crack open. Jabari, wake up. We're going to Umi's house today. Oh, I love his little eyes. Ah, he's so cute. Oh, Jabari Abdi, kindergarten student Amari and Nora's son. Oh, they're both cute. Oh, I like his little Minecraft shirt and everything. Oh, he's the gamer son. I need to have a gamer son. My kids are gonna be gamers when I get. Oh, I just realized Among Us. Among Us. Ah! Yes, I am having gamer kids. 100%. If they're not, then. Jabari blinks in silence for a moment. Jabari, did you know that in my dream, you and me were in Mama's car and we all went to the moon. That's actually pretty exciting. That's actually a really exciting dream. And then on the moon, we saw a big bird and the bird had a car too. So we had a race in Mama's car with the bird. You watch your sons chat as he finished getting their clothes for the day together. Oh, that's so adorable. Who won the race, Jahleel? I don't know, Mama. I woke up before it was over. Mama, I didn't have a good dream. Oh. You walk over to your son and crouch next to his bed. He's sitting up clutching a stuffed kudu that your aunt gave him when he was born. Jahleel has his own, a cheetah, that's sitting next to his pillow. I'm so sorry you had a bad dream, my lamb. Would you like to talk about it? In my dream, you were there, Mama, and you allow him to take his time, careful not to stop his train of thought. In it, you were in a big box and you were stuck. And I was outside the box and I couldn't open it for you. I'm sorry, I couldn't help you, Mama. I'm so sorry. Oh, don't cry. It's okay. It's just a dream. You're fine. His big brown eyes begin to well up with tears. You reach for him and hold him close against your chest. Oh, we gotta protect him at all costs. You are so precious. Don't worry, Habibi. Dreams aren't exactly the same as real life. They just tell us things about real life using pictures. And sometimes they don't make sense to us right away, and that's okay. What kinds of things do dreams tell me? Well, that depends on the dream. But as you get bigger and bigger and have more and more dreams, you'll have an easier time figuring out what they have to say. Jabari wipes his tears on your shoulder and sighs. Can we have pineapple for breakfast? I want to have oatmeal. Sometimes it shocks you how quickly your kids can change tracks, but then again, they are your sons. You stand and help Jabari get out of bed. We need to protect these kids at all costs. These are adorable, precious kids. I hope my kids are exactly like these two. Holy shits. Okay, my dears, what do we do before we eat breakfast? We wash away all the sleep. We wash away all the sleep. You pick up their clothes and lead your sons to the bathroom so that you can help them get ready before they get dressed. Then you load their toothbrushes with toothpaste and hand them to them. They stand on step stools in front of the sink, brushing their baby teeth with gusto. A pang of sadness rings through your heart as you watch them. It took time, but you've gotten used to taking care of the boys on your own. Things are certainly more difficult without a partner, but that's a thought that you can't allow yourself to dwell on, at least not in front of them. When Jahleel and Jabari are finished brushing their teeth, you help them take off their pajamas so they can put on their clothes for the day. What do we think? Did I do a good job picking your clothes for today? Jahleel looks at the blue Among Us shirt he's wearing and down at his blue socks. Jabari rubs his fingers over his sweatpants and soft yellow Minecraft shirt. You hold your breath. I like the colors. I think that blue is a really cool color because it's the same as the sky and the sky has birds in it, and I really like those. Oh, that's cute. Oh, Jabari is cute too. You don't like it, do you? It's soft. He gives us a soft smile, and that's all you need to know, that you've knocked this one out of the park. Oh, okay. He likes it, okay. You guide your children down to the kitchen so you can start preparing their breakfast. You heat some oatmeal on the stove while you slice some pineapple and pour glasses of almond milk. Your own breakfast will probably consist of leftover rice and a couple of eggs once you get back home after dropping the boys off. You imagine yourself later sitting alone at the table picking at food, sapped of its flavor while you wish that things were different. That's very depressing. If you could go back, you know there's no use in this particular mental exercise, but you can't stop yourself. If you could do things all over again, what would you change? Would you figure out a home and work balance that's sustainable before it was too late? Would you listen more? Would it have mattered? There are just some things that you can't control, including, it seems, the kind of person you are at a fundamental level. You weren't enough. Simple as that. And the amount you've grown and changed since don't count for shit, because no matter what happens, you and Noor are never going to be together again. Your thoughts are interrupted by a sharp pain in your hand while you are distracted. It seems you managed to slice through your thumb instead of the fruits in front of you. Shit. You fail to catch yourself before the swearing in front of your children. Oof. Mama! I'm fine, my dove. I just got a little cut and I'm going to get a bandage for it right now. You do your best to demonstrate proper first aid to your sons. You rinse your bleeding thumb under the faucet and pat it dry with a paper towel before rummaging in the junk drawer for bandages. Once your cut is taken care of, you prepare 2 bowls of oatmeal with knobs of butter, some crushed pistachios, and a small drizzle of honey, placing some sliced pineapple on the side. You serve your sons their breakfast and join them at the table after you get another mug of coffee. Mama, are you okay? Of course I am. I told you. It was just a little cut and now it's clean and wrapped up. There's nothing to worry about. Now keep eating your breakfast. Jahleel shoves a heaping spoonful of oatmeal into his mouth. Hey, mister, breakfast isn't a race. You don't need to go so fast. Take your time or your tummy will be upset with you in the car to Mama Noor's house. You sip your coffee while your sons eat, reminding Jahleel to place himself every now and again. The last thing you want to do is hand off your kid to your ex while he's covered in puke. Mama? What is it, Habibi? What's wrong? You have to admit, sometimes Jabari can be a little unsettling when he stares at you in unblinking silence. Mama, are you okay? I just told your brother. One little cut isn't enough to hurt me too badly. Not the cut, Mama. You're sad. Yeah, Mama. You came in our room and everything got all blue and green and stuff. But, not blue like the sky or like water. Blue like really, really icky blue. Oh. You sigh. This is the kind of thing you would ideally discuss with Noor. The best option you have, though, is making a long-distance call to your auntie Babalwa. I hope I said that right. So she can tell you how best to support your son's gifts while also encouraging them to stay out of your business. I guess I'm a little sad today, but that's just because I have to say goodbye to my favorite 2 people in the whole wide world. I'll be all right, I promise. You reach across the table and your sons grab onto your hands. It's okay to be sad sometimes, understand? Your sons nod, although their little faces are still pinched with worry. You stand and walk around to their side of the table. Come on, give Mama a big hug. It makes me happy that you both care so much about how I feel. But I want you to make sure that you pay attention to how you feel, okay? You scope them up in a tight embrace. It takes all you have not to start crying in the tops of their little heads, but you manage to keep it together. I love you, Mama. Oh, I love you too, Mama. Ooh, you're so precious. And I love you both so, so, so much. I love you more than there are stars in the sky. I love you forever, for always. For as long as I'm alive, you two will always be my biggest loves. It's true. Despite all the pain and turmoil that comes from remaining in close contact with Noor, you would never in a million years give up on the children you share. In a way, you know it's why you and she couldn't stay together. Jahleel and Jabari simply deserve more from both of you. Oh, Noor is a she. I thought Noor was a guy this entire time. Sorry for my assumption. That's why she kept saying Mama Noor. I thought Mama Noor was like Grandmama Noor. I'm like, why? Okay, why are you thinking does the husband live with the grandma now? Like, that's what I thought. No, Mama Noor literally is what she means. Is like, Mama, like, they have moms. Okay, my mistake. Okay. It's time to go, boys. Jabari, it's your turn to pick the CD today, so think about which one you want while I get the car ready, okay? You let go of your sons so they can finish their breakfast. While they eat, you go back upstairs to make sure that they packed their things sufficiently last night. You and Noor tend to just keep duplicates of certain items, but there are some things that you simply must cart back and forth, such as their special blankets and toys, as well as anything their preschool teachers have given them to take home. After confirming that their essentials are packed away, you slide Jahleel's cheetah and Jabari's kudu on top of their things and zip up the bags. You carry them downstairs and out of the trunk of your car. Then you check that the car seats are relatively clean and secured to the back seat. As you do so, your fourth alarm goes off on your phone. Oh? Fuck! You linger too long at breakfast and now you're running behind. Your only choices are speeding or arriving at Noor's place late, neither of which are great. Your ex-wife being a little annoyed at you is much better than getting pulled over with your kids in the car. You decide. You go back inside the kitchen where your sons are waiting. Finished with their food, you clear away their dishes and lead them over to the front door where their shoes are waiting. Thankfully, they both wear shoes with Velcro rather than laces, so getting them out the door is a quick process. Interesting. I'm kind of interested to see how Noor looks like. Do you know what CD you want, Jabari? The boys are fastened securely in their car seats. I want the one with the orange circles on it. I want the CD with the black and white boxes and the weird man on it. Okay. Jahleel, it's Jabari's turn today. You can choose a CD when I pick you up next time, okay? Jahleel nods, pouting. You sigh. You really don't have time for this. It's good to take turns and share, Habibi. It would make you sad if you never got to pick the CD, right? That's how Jabari would feel if I skipped his turn today. Jahleel nods again, his imminent tantrum averted. I'm sorry, Jabari. I don't want you to be sad. It's okay. Your sons reach across the seat to hold hands as you fasten your seatbelt up front. You turn the car on and insert the CD Jabari chose. Oh, it's so precious. Oh, I want kids like them so bad. Layered vocals flood the car through the speakers, and part of you wishes it was Jahleel's turn to pick the music, if only because tender love ballads are the opposite of what you need to hear right now. You blink back tears as you put the car in reverse and pull out of your driveway. This is always the hardest part. Jahleel and Jabari sing along as best as they can, and you're glad that they're distracted. The drive to Noor's is only around 10 minutes, but they seem to stretch on infinitely ahead of you. It would be simple to turn your car around, to go back home and unload your children and just face the consequences when you're in hell. Would it be worth it to hurt Noor in that way? And for what reason? The only people it should hurt are your sons, since legally speaking, you'd be kidnapping them, and that couldn't possibly be good for their development. Maybe it's for the best that you aren't listening to ska right now. You cut off that train of thought as you pull up in front of Noor's house. Oh, hello. You are looking very angry today. She's standing on the porch, hands on her hips, a look of disappointment etched onto her face. When is the last time she's looked anyway else when you were around? Oh boy. And still, despite that, you can't help but notice that she's still the most beautiful woman you've ever met. You're late, Amari. Noor Fahum Abdi, scientist, Amari's ex-wife and mother of Jahleel and Jabari. You helped Jahleel and Jabari out of the car. I'm sorry. You know how getting them out the door can be. It won't happen again. Hi, Umi. Good morning, Umi. Good morning, Habibi. Why don't you come inside and take your shoes off? I'll be right in after I speak to your mama. She opens the front door for the boys and closes it behind them. You were late 2 weeks ago too. Don't tell me you're trying to kidnap our children, Amari. You sputter at the accusation. Bitch, the kids are there. Like, sorry, we were like, I don't know, if it was like 30 to 45 minutes late, like you literally have them for like hours of the day or the week. Like, chill the fuck, like calm your titties. If you have titties, like calm them. God. Are you being serious right now? I was less than 5 minutes late and you jumped to kidnapping? Yeah, like what the fuck, bitch? Like calm the fuck down. That's pretty bold, Noor. When is the last time you've spoken to each other without fighting? Just after the boys were born? Before that? Noor takes a deep breath and crosses her arms. Look, I don't want to argue with you today. I have something to tell you. What, you aren't moving? Are you? No, I'm not moving. Listen. This is important. She's getting married. She found somebody else. Calling you right now. She takes another breath. Habibi, Your hair strands on the end at the term of endearment. You want to scream. Don't call me that. You don't get to call me that anymore. But you stay silent. I've been seeing someone. I fucking knew it. It's fucking obvious. I fucking knew it. Their name is Ali, and it's serious. Oh, of course it's serious. I want to introduce him to Jahleel and Jabari this weekend. It's like you've been punched in the gut. Oh. I didn't want to do it without letting you know. But I'm not asking you for permission. You're having a hard time looking at her. I understand. I wish you two the best. You turn on your heel and walk back to your car. Noor doesn't call after you, only goes inside to get your children unpacked. That's rough, man. Like, I'm actually feeling the distress with that. That's actually really rough. Once the door is shut, you fasten your seatbelt and check your mirrors. You check that all four windows are rolled up tightly. And then you scream. Okay, it's sad, but adding the text pineapple for breakfast doesn't help, because it's like she's saying pineapple for breakfast. I'm sorry, like that's what it looks like, but that's sad. That is sad though. That's very depressing. Oh man. Biggs, start date with Biggs. Interesting. All right, Biggs, let's see how it is. A crash course in friendship. Written by Sam Taub. Content warning, controlling behavior. Oh. What is up with these like harsh themes this episode? On a typical afternoon, you can be found curled up on your couch, relaxing after a long day of work with a copy of Car Parts magazine. When you don't have your sons to worry about, and the weather is nice, you go out on the back porch and enjoy your weekly allotted cigarette. It's a part of your routine that you look forward to. This hour or two where you focus on yourself and relax. Even when Jahleel and Jabari are at home, you still try to honor this part of your day. Although sometimes it has to wait until after the boys are asleep in bed. Today is only half typical. The boys are home, but not because this is your week to have custody of them. Noor called you frantically around noon because a new girl at her lab ruined a sample. Your heart flip-flopped when you heard it. A long time ago, you would have asked her to stay on the line to talk shit about this new girl and how incompetent she is. The two of you would drive your bosses crazy with how long you'd stay on the phone with each other while you were on the clock. Back then, your bosses were too scared to look homophobic to really punish you for all the alleged time theft you committed. Now, upper management has taken a few too many diversity trainings, so you couldn't pull that scam even if you had someone to pull it with. In any case, Noor should be arriving to pick the boys up within the next hour. And until she does, you're going to enjoy your time with them. Oh, hello. The three of you are sitting in the living room. Jahleel is building a tower of blocks while Jabari draws with crayons on a piece of printer paper. The television is playing one of the boys' favorite programs, Claw Captors, which fills the room with a steady supply of background noise. A commercial plays for the show's tie-in toys, and you brace yourself to be bombarded by your sons begging for plastic imitations of cartoon owls. Instead, you hear an engine backfire loudly outside of your house. You wince at the sound and thank yourself for having the ability to maintain your car properly. Your sons seem unbothered by the noise, which you're thankful for. Jahleel continues building his block tower while Jabari sits still in front of his unfinished drawing. Mama, someone is coming to our house soon. You look up from your magazine and towards the front door. It's probably Mama Noor coming to pick you up. No. His tone is firm. It isn't uncommon for him to predict an unusual guest arrival. You try your hardest to remember if you made plans with one of your friends. A moment later, a timid knock comes at your door. Strange. If it is Noor, she'd normally just ring the bell, and if she's going to knock at all, she does so with confidence. You make your way towards the front door. Another knock comes. You unlock the door and pull it open, bracing yourself to once again relinquish your children to your ex-wife. Oh, hi, Biggs. Oh, I'm sorry. Is this a bad time? You quickly try to fix your face. There's no reason to meet this stranger with any kind of animosity, yet... I'm sorry. I'm satisfied with my cable and my religion. That's funny. And I'm already affiliated with a political party. What? I work for PUS. Oh, that's UPS jumbled. I just realized PUS. I was like, what? Puss? What's puss? No, it's PUS. You launched into your stranger at the door routine too early. The person standing on your porch is dressed in the classic brown uniform PUS delivery driver wears. Sorry, it's been a long day and I didn't even notice. I don't think I am expecting anything in the mail, though. I actually don't have a delivery for your address. My truck backfired outside of your place, and now I can't get it to start. I was delivering something to the guy across the street, and he said his auntie down the block was good with this kind of thing. I'm assuming you're the auntie in question. You can't help but crack a smile. The boys across the street like to drag race down some of the side streets in the neighborhood, and you fix their cars on the cheap as long as they demonstrate at least some semblance of road safety. One of them must have offered up your services. I am. You're a little too old to call me auntie, though. I'm Amari Abdi. It's nice to meet you. You extend your hand, and the POS driver shakes it. Nice to meet you, Amari. My name is Big Smallson. Is this a play on Biggie Smalls? Well, Biggs, I should be able to take a look at your engine in a few minutes. I just need to wait for my ex to come by to pick up the kids. As you say that, you feel a tug on your legs. You look down to see both of your sons on either side of you, clutching to your pants. Who are you? You have pretty hair. It looks like Mama's when she's too, mixed up in her head to go to the barber. Hi, are you friends with Mama? Shit, you quickly scan the person on your porch. It isn't impossible for them to be trans femme, but based on how they're carrying themselves, you doubt it. In fact, you realize you've been unconsciously using they, them to describe him? This obviously isn't your business, but still, there's something about him that's reminiscent of yourself many years ago, before your egg had been cracked, so to speak. Boys, don't be rude. You look at the person on the porch half smiling. I'm so sorry about that. There's really only one man who comes around my house, and it usually isn't when the kids are here. Not like a boyfriend or anything like that. We're just friends. And he's just terrible with children, if I'm being honest. Wow, you sure are talking a lot. It's a bad habit of yours that always seems to come up at the worst possible moments. The POS driver cracks an easygoing smile. No worries. I'm not uptight about that kind of thing. Him is all right. He pauses, almost like he's thinking very seriously about what he's going to say next. Yeah, him is fine. Still, I want to teach my sons to be a little more polite to people they meet. Jahleel, Jabari, please ask your questions nicely. Hello, my name is Jahleel. My brother is Jabari, and are you Mama's friend? Hello, I'm Jabari. Do you know Uncle Arihi too? No, I'm actually just getting a favor from your mama. My name is Biggs. It's very nice to meet you both. Your sons each extend a hand in imitation of your greeting earlier. Biggs allows them to wrap their tiny hands around one of his, and he shakes them delicately. Oh. He then checks his watch and the electronic device attached to his hip. Speaking of, I need to deliver another couple of packages. I can come back once I'm done with them. My dolly is busted, so I'm going one at a time. Why don't we help you? If you don't mind Jahleel and Jabari tagging along, we can certainly give you a hand. Biggs considers your offer for a moment. Well, I can't exactly say no to help. I'm not going to be able to clock out until you finish taking a look at the engine. So I guess it doesn't really matter if I take some extra time to show Jahleel and Jabari here how I do my thing. Yeah, that would be nice. That'd be actually really, really, really nice. He smiles wide at the boys, who beam up at him in response. Mama, I want to see the place they make the mail before it comes to our house. Auntie Biggs? Do you have to deliver all the packages in the world? That doesn't sound fair. Jahleel and Jabari have left your side to start clinging to Big's legs. He reaches down and scoops them up, one on each hip. Not in the whole world, just in the neighborhood. Sometimes it can feel like it's the whole world, though. Is it alright for them to keep calling you Auntie? I can get them to stop if it's a problem. Really, it's fine. I honestly kind of like it. He carries Jahleel and Jabari down the front walkway and to the back of his truck. Inside, you see two fairly large packages. Between the two of you, though, you should be able to carry them both down the block in one trip. Interesting. All right, kids. Time to stretch our legs and give Auntie Biggs his arms back. It's clear the boys would rather continue to be carried, but they get down without putting up a fuss. Biggs hands you one of the boxes. Fortunately, they're roughly the same size, which allows you to avoid the impenetrable matrix of gender politics that arises whenever you need to do a physical task alongside a man. Most cis guys you've met would probably miss your look for relief, but Biggs, you decide to stop that train of thought for now. You can revisit it if and when you get to know Biggs a little better. Jahleel, Jabari, do you remember the rules for when we're walking and Mama can't hold your hands? Both boys speak in a haphazard unison. No running, no splitting up, no trying to trip Mama. No running, no splitting up, no trying to trip Mama. Because Mama will have a panic attack and we don't want to deal with that today. Because Mama will have a panic attack and we don't want to deal with that today. Thank you so much for understanding, my loves. Wow, you're pretty good at this whole parenting thing, huh? I'm not perfect, but I certainly try. Thanks, Biggs. That means a lot. Biggs leads the four of you down the block to the duplex where both packages are meant to be delivered. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this technically illegal? Or is it that just if I were to open the mail? I don't think it's illegal, but to be honest, they don't pay me enough to give a... He stops himself just short of swearing in front of your little kids. I just love the little tear. They don't pay me enough for this shit. For me to care. Nice save. Once you finish delivering the packages, you head back into your house. You can see how taking 2 trips would have probably taken Biggs a while. That's funny. He once again scoops Jahleel and Jabari into his arms, carrying them back to your house, while the boys chatter relentlessly about claw captors. And the cool thing is that the owl who's in charge gets to be the Great Horn, and you think that's always going to be the biggest and strongest owl, but actually they take turns being the Great Horn, and either way they all have to listen and share, because the old owls all say that it's important to remember that even when they're different, all owls are owls, and they're all stronger when they hoot and fly and hunt together. So now me and Jabari want to share everything so we can be like them. Auntie Biggs, do you want to hoot too? Mama, can Auntie Biggs come over next week so we can all play claw captors together? The smile on your face is so wide as you approach your house that even seeing Nora posted up on the porch isn't enough to make it falter. Umi! Umi! The boys scramble out of Biggs's hold and run towards their mother. Hello, my loves. Amari. The shift in her tone is probably too subtle for the boys to pick up on, but the animosity lacing the syllables of your name feels like a knife digging into your back. And who is this? Biggs extends a hand to Nor. She doesn't take it. Big Smallson, it's nice to meet you. Amari was just doing me a quick favor. Neighbor to neighbor. She takes his hand and shakes it half-heartedly. Amit, did you know that Auntie Biggs delivers all the packages in Jersey City? Not the whole city, Jahleel. Just to Mama's house. You don't miss the soft smile that creeps onto Nora's face. That sounds fascinating. Why don't you both tell me all about what you did at Mama Amari's house today in the car, okay? She takes the boys by their hands and leads them down to her car. Bye-bye, Mama. Bye-bye, Auntie Biggs. Bye-bye, Mama. Bye-bye, Auntie Biggs. Oh, they're so cute. They wave their little hands goodbye, and then they're gone. All right, now that the kids are gone, I can give your engine my undivided attention. Aw, man. Can we fix the engine? You lead Biggs over to your garage where you keep most of your supplies. Hey, I really can't thank you enough for all this. I'm sure you must be pretty busy. It's really no trouble at all. Honestly, once the kids go back to Nor's place, I tend to just kind of mope, so this is nice. Shit, that might have been a little too vulnerable for the first time. You're really having a conversation with this guy. That's really real. I can only imagine how hard it is. An uneasy silence sits over you two as you open the hood of Biggs's van. Your palms start to clam up. It's been too long since you've hung out with Arihi because all of a sudden you feel words bubbling up in your mouth and you can't stop them from frothing over your lips even if you wanted to. I guess it should be getting easier. I mean, we've been divorced before the boys could even walk. So it shouldn't be this hard anymore, right? Being a single mom is difficult. I don't think you should beat yourself up for having a hard time. He's right. You take a deep breath. Your ex seems, responsible at least. Don't mind Nor. My face just puts her in a bad mood. There's nothing I can do about it now. You shine your flashlight deep into the recesses of Biggs's engine block. There are a few things that could be making the engine backfire, and you're hoping it's something you're capable of handling yourself. I think a switch in your brain flips. You forget about Nor. You forget about the ache caused by your son's absence. You forget that you just pulled yourself from the edge of panic. You are in your elements. No, I know I can fix this. You straighten up to deliver the full diagnosis. It looks like your air intake tube is punctured. Luckily for you, I can replace it for you right now. I keep telling my manager he needs to get the van serviced more often. Shit, are you sure it's not too much trouble for you? Really, it's not a problem. I tend to stock up on this part since the boys on this street treat their cars so rough. Oh, it all makes sense now. Is that why the dude down the block said that Auntie Hari could hook me up? Were those his exact words? God, he makes me sound like a drug dealer. Don't worry, I assumed you weren't going to try to sell me any drugs. No offense, but you open your front door too quickly to be a drug dealer. You're right about that, I guess. You lead Biggs back to your garage. It's messy in there, but you're not embarrassed about it. It could be worse. Your house could be the dumpster fire instead of your garbage. If Biggs is put off by the crates full of loose parts stacked haphazardly around the floor, the greasy rags scattered around a small yet ominous puddle of iridescent black motor oil, an ever-present smell of sweat and rust, he doesn't say anything. I should have a tube that'll fit your engine over here. You wander over to where you keep parts that are made out of plastic and rubber. You start digging through a disintegrating cardboard box and cardboard box on a shelf until you find the part you need. All right, let's do this. Oh man. Ooh, You quickly get to work detaching the old tube and installing the new one. When did you learn how to do all this? My dad and my uncles all worked in the Bjord plant when I was growing up in Dearborn. And it's not like they got paid enough to do more than lease the new cars they were making. So they made sure that the cars they owned outright would last us close to forever as a car can. And then they taught me and my cousins how to as well. And I guess the boys on this block remind me of them a little bit. So it's nice to help them how I can. It's weird because I haven't been back to visit in so long, but it's like I'm not even homesick because it's like I have the same thing but better here. There you go again, talking like you just broke a lifelong vow of silence. It's just that Biggs puts you at ease in a way most men simply cannot. On top of that, it really has been a while since you really had a conversation with someone outside of work that wasn't about shapes. Word? That's honestly really dope. I'm guessing you'll teach your kids the same when they're older? I absolutely will. For now, it's hard to find time to work on my own projects. They're just a little too young to do activities that they aren't particularly invested in yet, especially ones that involve power tools. How old were you when you started using power tools? Oh, probably around when I was 6. Jahleel and Jabari still have a couple years to go. Until then, it's a full-time job keeping an eye on both of them at the same time. I'm looking forward to when they're in school and I can finally talk to other adults again. Well, shit. I think I have an idea that'll work out for the both of us. What is it? Well, not to make any bold assumptions since we just met, but you said it yourself. You don't spend a lot of time hanging out with other adults. And I want to thank you for helping me out and giving me a legit reason to get some overtime. Are you asking us out? Are you gonna ask us out on a date, Bix? So why don't we do both at the same time? You're finished with your work now, your hands lightly coated in oil and dirt from the inside of the engine. Oh? What would you say to you, me, and the kids all going somewhere together? Oh, and he included the kids! Oh, that's so sweet! We can pick something that'll be interesting to them. And I'll help you watch them so you can also, you know, talk to another adult. Interesting. I'm the other adult in case that wasn't clear. I'm sure you are. You take a moment to consider the offer. Honestly, that sounds great. Oh, after a few days spent exchanging text and coordinating schedules, you two decide to meet at Jersey City Zoo on a sunny Saturday afternoon. Ooh, the zoo, you say? You arrive 10 minutes late, which for you might as well be an hour early. You have your black backpack and tote bag you got for subscribing to some car magazine years ago. Both stuffed nearly to bursting with water and snacks and every miscellaneous thing you could fit in there. Jahleel and Jabari each clutch onto one of your hands. This morning you dressed them in matching overalls and bucket hats. Just in case you lose one of them and need to describe their appearance under pressure. You walk towards the entrance, scanning the crowd for Biggs. He shouldn't be too much of an issue to spot. He's standing off to one side, dressed in casual shorts and a baggy t-shirt. It's honestly strange to see him outside of his PUS uniform, but it makes sense that he wouldn't be wearing his work clothes when he's off the clock. He waves at you with a wide grin as you approach. Auntie Biggs! Auntie Biggs! Hey, how are the Owl Boys doing? Anything cool happened back at the nest since I last saw you? Big squats down so that the boys can get a good grip around his shoulders before he lifts them off the ground to the sound of their manic giggling. It's a relief that they get along so well. It'll make following our itinerary that much easier. Hey, Biggs. Sorry, we're a little late. You know how getting kids out of the front door can be. No worries, it isn't that late. And besides, you're here now. Still, I try to be on time as much as I can. It's just that things sometimes get mixed up in the shuffle, you know? Biggs suddenly takes on an air of aged wisdom, even though you're pretty sure you're at least a year or two older than him. There's nothing wrong with being a few minutes late now and then. You're a good mom, Amari. The statement is a seemingly simple declaration, one with subjectivity woven through each individual word, and yet, when Big says it, you can't help but feel that maybe, just maybe, he's correct. Thanks, that really means a lot. Don't mention it. For once, you let the silence speak before you sketch on. If Jahleel or Jabari want to break it, they're free to do so. Auntie Biggs? And like clockwork, they do. Auntie Biggs, do owls live at the zoo? Mama says a lot of birds don't live there because they can fly away, but Jabari thinks that there have to be some birds who want to live there since the zoo doesn't have a roof and they can play with all the other animals. While Jahleel batters Biggs with questions about the zoo, you dig through your tote bag for your entrance passes. As an employee of the Jersey City School District, you, your family, and up to 5 guests per season are allowed free entry into most municipal sites, including the zoo. It's a fine benefit to be sure, but you'd much rather see your coworkers get a raise. Or at the very least, better health insurance. All right, let's all line up for sunscreen. You've already applied SPF to yourself and your kids before you left the house. And even though it hasn't been 2 hours, it can't hurt to reapply now that you have a minute of stillness. On cue, Jahleel and Jabari climb out of Big's arms and stand next to each other, arms spread wide and eyes clamped shut. Biggs remains still for a moment before slowly emulating the boys' positions. A strange look settles onto his face as he does so. Take a minute. What happened? Before you launch into your usual sun care routine, you take a breath. Jahleel and Jabari are in front of you, their little arms outstretched and their eyes clamped tight. They're both 5 years old and physically incapable of putting sunscreen on themselves. These things are not true of Biggs. Oh, sorry, Biggs. I guess I forgot about the whole talking to other adults thing. I don't need to put your sunscreen on for you, if you don't want me to. Biggs immediately puts his hands down, and it occurs to you that, yeah, it is kind of weird for a grown woman to platonically apply sunscreen to a grown man without establishing that's okay first. No worries, I can put it on myself, but I mean, I get how it can be kind of difficult to get yourself out of the parent mode, huh? Tell me about it. I'll hand over the spray once I'm done with these little guys. Jahleel and Jabari wait patiently for you to spray their bodies with SPF 30. When you're done, you pass the can over to Biggs while you rub 2 tablespoons each of SPS 45 special formula for sensitive skin sunscreen on their faces and necks. You move on to yourself when Biggs is finished, and soon after you feel confident that you're sufficiently protected from the sun. Auntie Biggs, Mama says that, the sun is our friend. Uh-huh. And she, sometimes she hugs us too hard. But it isn't on purpose. And that's why we have to wear sunscreen all the time. What? Wait, what? Because if you don't, you can get sick. Did you tell your sons you can get skin cancer if you don't wear the sunscreen? That's kind of harsh for 4-year-olds, miss. You smile as your sons recount your explanation to him. You strive to strike a balance between outright lying to your children about the way the world works and confusing them with overly detailed answers that only lead to more questions. While the boys proceed to talk at him, Biggs turns to you with an attentive look. So, I know you said when we were planning this that you like to have a game plan. So, I was thinking we could do a loop around the zoo and take turns carrying the boys if they get tired of walking. It occurs to you that Biggs has put almost as much thought into this as you have. Not quite the same amount. He isn't legally or morally responsible for your son's safety, but he must have gotten close to your sons. You need to lighten up a little. That or you've been hanging out with Arihi too much. I was actually thinking we'd do the exact same thing. Ugh, our minds. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get going. The 4 of you walk up to the entrance to the zoo and step into the moderately sized line. Auntie Biggs, what do you think we'll see first? I don't know. What do you want to see first? I want to see a bird. What kind of bird, my lamb? Jabari falls into contemplative silence. There are so many birds after all. Your group reaches the ticket window and you slide your passes through the hole in the partition glass. Your fingers brush against the clerk's as she, a khaki-clad woman with visibly self-administered haircut, reaches for your passes, and her entire face lights up with a blush so intense it looks purple. Oh my god. Thanks, have a great rest of your day. Reflexively, you shoot her a wink as you walk away. I mean, yes, you're single, yes. I mean, yeah, you're gonna do that shit, but like, you're with Biggs right now. Like, Biggs literally is invited us out on a fucking date. This is a date. Okay, Mr. Smooth, I see you. What? You totally made that ticket girl's whole life. If she wasn't gay this morning, well, she is now. He gives you a playful shove and you laugh. Oh, come on. It wasn't that much. Sure. Keep saying that. You're about to have all the zoo staff eating out of your hand if you keep it up. That's funny. Alright, so it looks like we are running on time here. I do want to continue on to see what the rest of the zoo has for us, but this looks like this is a long session. A lot longer than our time with Anaya. Anaya's is actually pretty quick, but this is gonna take some time. But anyways, I'm really excited to see how the zoo and stuff is gonna work out and how this relationship with Biggs is gonna be like, and if we're gonna see the friends Arihi, because that was mentioned. But unfortunately I am out of time, but we'll see how the rest of this date goes in the next episode. Anyways, hope you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye bye.